Hello everyone, thank you for joining me for a beautiful yin practice and stable release practice. This is where we're going to do some yin postures. Yin postures are postures that you hold for longer periods of time, really relaxing the more active muscles and just letting the tendons and the ligaments really stretch and open up, really getting into this whole fascia networking, which is what encases all of our muscles and our tendons so that it can really breathe and open up and really improve flow and communication within our muscles and our joints. And we're going to combine some of these yin poses with some beautiful myofascial technique, myofascial release technique options for the sacrum and the pelvis. So we're going to use lots of props today. I'm going to show you guys up front so you can gather what you need, and you can always makeshift this at home. Okay, 2 blocks, always a great option. Otherwise, 2 books about this size. A blanket, nice and folded up. It can be any kind of blanket. I like the more malleable cotton blanket. A bolster or a pillow. Bolsters come in 2 different sizes. You've got this kind of oval shaped one, which can be nice underneath the knees. And you also have like a long rectangular one. This is actually a short rectangular one that can go at the low back as well as underneath your knees too. So options, maybe a nice rounder pillow and then a nice more rectangular shaped pillow. I also love to have something that can be used as a strap. So this could be your sweatshirt. This could be a tie that you can, have nearby. You can make a little loop in one end. And then the last options, or last couple options we're going to have actually, are some myofascial release balls. So I love this rad kit. It kind of has everything in one. I have 3 different size balls here, as well as this beautiful joint together ball, which I love to have. If you don't have the point release kit or the recovery rounds, which come like this, you can always just take 2 tennis balls, put them into a tube sock, and then fold up the end of the tube sock so they don't move around, and that way they're kind of stuck together like this. So you've got all kinds of options, but you definitely want to have some type of balls. You do. Lacrosse balls can tend to be too hard. Tennis balls can tend to be too soft. These are all built for somewhere right in between, with these recovery rounds made by Yoga Medicine being a little gentler on the body, even than the point release rad rounds. And of course, for a nice long shavasana, an eye pillow is always a great thing to have as well. We're going to start in a juicy, beautiful child's pose. So many options here to make this pose work for your body. We can use the long pillow. I'd love for you to slide that right between your inner thighs. If this is harmful or hurting in your ankle bones or your knees, you can pad them underneath your ankle bones or underneath your knees with a nice blanket. We're going to hinge forward right over our block. If you feel like you still need a little more, you can always add your blanket here as well. And just take one cheek to the mat or to the bolster. Drop in. Start to breathe in and out through your nose, just filling your back, your shoulders, your pelvis with breath. Really starting to just breathe and awaken the entire posterior chain, where all the networking of muscles and ligaments through the backside of our body that hold us upright. Just give them all some attention. Notice them, feel them, see them, hear them. Each yin pose we're going to hold usually around 3 minutes, sometimes a little longer, sometimes a little shorter, depending on the intensity of the pose. As you breathe in, you want to be creating space in your body. And as you breathe out, you just want to be taking up that space, owning it, dropping into it, luxuriating in it. One more in-breath here. Slowly take your opposite cheek down. This is also a great stretch for your neck and your upper back. Take one more in breath here. Gently let it go. Bring your forehead back, slowly peel yourself up. And then here is the beautiful thing about Yin postures. We have what was called the rebound. So get on your back. Lie down. As you extend, you may notice this beautiful sensation and blood flow that's going down the fronts of your thighs. Just hone in on that sensation in your body. Let yourself be nice and still. Good. Let's take one more breath. Slowly bend your knees. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Massage your low back around a little bit. And change direction. Roll onto a side, come up to a seat. I want to move right on to working on the soles of our feet. So curl your toes under. This one is a bit intense. You may need to give your pinky toe a little aid and go ahead and move it out of the way yourself. Sit on your heels. Lengthen up through your body. Kind of find that space if you need to shift forward or back into the feet so you find just enough stretch. Feel a little engagement of your inner thighs, just ever so slightly. We are only going to stay in this pose for 1 minute. But as far as the meridians in our body, they connect from our feet, our toes, all the way to our hands. They crisscross our body. It's really where the information and energy flows. So we need to wake that up all the way down to our toes. If this is intense, I want you to notice where it's mostly intense. See if you can send a little love, a little attention there. 3 more deep cycles of breath. You can do anything for 3 cycles of breath. One more in breath. Out breath. Come onto your hands and knees. Point your toes and just drum your feet. Get a little release. Good. Counteract that. We're going to go into the exact opposite stretch. I want you to sit back to your heels. Now, if this is too intense, I should have shared this with the last pose too, and you can't come all the way down, you can always take a bolster or even a blanket to just lessen this intensity. The angle of this, the hinge at your kneecap. So point your toes. Find a space that feels really good there. I'm going to back mine up a little bit. Point your toes. Start to shift your weight backward. You should feel a nice stretch down the fronts of your legs. And then if you can, I want you to lift your knees an inch or so off the ground. Bend your elbows. Feel your hips lift, your heart lift. Tuck your chin, just not to have any extra strain in the neck. And we're just going to take a few breaths here. So where you should be feeling this is in the tops of your feet. But if your quads are really tight, you're going to feel it there too. Good. Give me one more in breath. One more out breath. Let's release it. Ooh, come back. Slide the blanket out from underneath you. Come back to your hands and knees. Drum out the tops of the feet. Curl the toes under if you wish. We'll do a few rounds of cat and cow. Drop your belly, lift your gaze. Exhale, round and hollow. Drop your belly, open up. Exhale, round and hollow. One more time, drop your belly, open up. Round and hollow out. It's fine to seat. Getting your hips a little bit higher can be nice. You can sit on a blanket here if you wish. Bring the soles of your feet together. Go ahead and walk your feet out fairly far from you. I like to take my blocks around to the outside and pad. Go ahead and pad here. Bring the soles of your feet together. Sit up nice and tall. Grabbing a hold of one of your pillows can be a great option too. Gently hinge forward and fold. Soften. You can use your forearms. A lot of rounding here in this beautiful butterfly pose. We're targeting the inner thighs as well as all of the attachments in here. The pelvic attachments all the way down through the sacrum. Into gravity. If you can just fill up and empty out. Breathe in slowly. See if you can go back to that beautiful 4-count breath that we've practiced in a few other videos. Exhale it out. You may notice after you've been here about a minute or so that your body can go deeper. Again, we're just going into sensation and then letting our body respond. You may notice when we get right around the 2-minute mark, you may notice that a little jumping or resistance happen in the muscles. This is a great spot when that happens. It's a great thing when that happens. You'll see this like jump, 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 a little gripping of the muscles before they finally let go and release. See if you can just allow that. Stay here in your stillness and breath for a few more cycles together. Enjoy the space, enjoy the peace, enjoy the quiet. One more inhale. Slowly exhale. Rise up. Back to the rebound we go, onto your backs. Everything slides out of the way. Lie down. And just notice where you feel a little flush and rush of energy or sensation. Hopefully it's down your inner thighs. Notice some of the energy channels that you may have been able to awaken. Give me a nice in-breath and out-breath. Slowly bend your knees. Draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. And let's do a few cat and cows here on our back. Knees away, knees together. Knees away, breathe in. Knees together, squeeze in. One more time, take your knees away from you. Exhale, squeeze it in. Roll onto your side. Come on up. We're going to work on the outer thigh right now. Coming into half saddle pose. Bend your left knee to start. Let your knees point forward. So you don't want to have the knee really pull out to the side. We want, if you look down to your thigh bones, they're right parallel to one another. Lift up, back up the bus an inch or two. You can always soften the knee. You can pad your knee. So many options to make yourself nice and comfortable. Slide the bolster behind you. Gently lean back. And maybe to our forearms is enough. Maybe even on your hands is enough. Okay, so many options. You can prop yourself up a bit here. Lie all the way back. Drop in. Just begin to open the whole front side of your thigh. Every exhalation, you're just trying to relax the muscles in your quads. They're going to want to engage. Our muscles engage to protect us. It's a definite defense mechanism that our body just goes to. And what we want to do in this beautiful mindful breath and awareness state is reminding our body to trust us. Like, we're here to listen. We're here to hear what you have to say. And it's okay to let go. By giving the body the support it needs, it's going to surrender to us, allowing some freedom, some expansion, and hopefully some mobility to come our way as a result. Okay, you may be feeling a little bit of those grippies. I feel this happening, twitching, gripping. That's when we know we need to stay a little longer, breathe a little more for one more minute. Notice the inhalations and exhalations of your breath. One deep inhale. Slowly exhale. Use your arms and your hands, tuck your chin, slowly peel up. Unwind your left leg, windshield wiper your feet back and forth. Once again, just notice the flow, the little rush of energy and blood down the left thigh bone. Wait for that rebound to really fully kick in, every little sensation of it. And then we'll switch sides. Bend your right knee. Get your knees in parallel. You may notice as I am on this side, my right side is tighter, so I'm feeling a little more resistance on this side. Pad where you need to, support where you need to. Slowly lean back. So on this side for me, this is far enough. This is where my body's starting to talk to me. It might even be a little less than that. So stay here and breathe until your body gives you permission to go deeper. It may take a minute. Breathe, send some attention, some love to this part of your body. My muscles have relaxed a little bit. I'm going to go a little bit deeper. Stay and breathe. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. Stay focused on your whole right quadricep. We'll stay here for a few more cycles of breath. One more inhale. One more exhale. Slowly climb onto your hands, tuck your chin, peel yourself up. Unwind your right leg. Windshield wiper your feet. Notice the blood flow and the release of energy down your right shin bone. Notice, feel every little aspect of that rebound sensation coming through your body. We're going to set up for myofascial release on your back. So once again, 2 balls together, either throw them in a tube sock, double them up, or this point release kit is amazing. I love it. Ease onto your back. And we are going to bend our knees. Take this little beautiful double hooked ball and you're going to slide it right at your tailbone, just above it. And I want you to just gently move back and forth, side to side a little bit. You kind of find the nice little sweet spot. See if you can tilt and arch the pelvis a little bit. You can find that beautiful little area of sensation right around the sit bones. Yes. You may need to back up, move around. And we're just going to stay here. Let your knees fall in. Take a few cycles of breath. When we meet these trigger points of our body with just the right amount of pressure for just the right amount of time, magical things happen. We activate these beautiful acupressure points, as well as the pressure helps release the fascia, creating hydration of our muscles, our joints, and our ligaments, giving us more mobility, more freedom. Nice. Take a deep in-breath. Slowly exhale. You're going to lift your hips a little bit. Slide the ball up just about an inch, not even. So now you're just underneath the sacrum, that triangle bone that meets the top of your tailbone, your coccyx bone. And I just want you to stay there. You may need to tilt, move around from side to side. You can even move the legs from one direction to the other. What we're looking for is just that little space in place, and it may be different from one side to the other, where your body's like, oh, that's it. When we feel pain or we feel tightness, we feel deep kind of a reactive sensation in that area, this is just proof that the energy along those meridians is not functioning properly. That's the heads up that, oh, this is a spot that needs a little extra attention, a little extra love. And know that the longer you stay, the more you breathe into this space, the more you give it attention, the more it will relax. Okay, find and notice, oh, did that sensation I initially found subside a little bit? Yeah. Move around with the knees, see if maybe there's another space. You can stay and play with that. Or if you're ready, lift up and move a little bit higher. We're going to go right towards the center of the sacrum now. So the ball is really hitting either side of the attachments that run down either side of your sacrum. So this is where the glute med attaches to the sacrum, and then it runs across the side of our booty and attaches at our outer thighs. This muscle is the one that gets turned off when we sit too long. It's also the one that can get too tight if we have improper posture. And when it's too tight, it clamps down and can create sciatica. So this is a great technique right here to help address sciatica. So tilt through the pelvis, move from side to side. The knees can go back and forth. They can open, they can close. Find the sweet space, the little area where you need to give an extra love, a little extra attention. Stay there and breathe. Give me a nice in-breath. Out-breath. Slowly lift. You can stay if that felt good. You can keep playing with that area as long as you want, but I'm going to take you through this. Go a little bit higher. So right now, we're right sort of at the top part of the sacrum, but just underneath the top circular part of the pelvis. We're in that sort of meaty section just above the top of our ilium. So move back and forth, round and round. So if our SI joint is out, you tend to feel quite a bit of pain up in this area. Find the sweet spot. Maybe you need to roll your knees a little bit to the right or a little bit to the left. Okay, you can always extend a leg. You can always lift a leg for some more intensity. Okay, find the sweet spot right there. Pay attention, like, oh wow, like I'm really sore just on my left side here. Maybe you want to shift a little bit more and weight into the left side and give it a little bit more attention, a little more love. Give me a nice inhale. Exhale, just check out the other side. Notice what's going on there. Give me a nice in breath and a nice out breath. Okay, lift your hips. We're going to stick right with that meaty section. But this time we're just going to go towards the left cheek. So I just want you to lift up and spin it. So the point where it was on there on the top is still there, but we're moving the top now right underneath the top of the ilium to that fleshy part right in the center. We're going to shift our weight in towards our left side. So we're getting two spots at once here. Two birds with one stone. You may need to adjust, you may need to tweak it a little bit. So we never want to be on the bones. We want to be right at those gluteal attachments where the muscle is attaching to the bones here, right up on the edge of the bony part of the sacrum, as well as right up on the bony part of your ilium, top of your pelvis. So you may notice that you want to have a little internal rotation, or maybe what happens, oh, if I have maybe a little external rotation here. Oh, maybe I need to lift my knee. Maybe you need to move around and, oh, it's like, oh, right there, that's it for me. Okay, I'm going to lift that knee. I'm going to hold on to it. This is where a strap comes in handy too. You can just hook the strap or tie your sweatshirt around your knee so you're not having to work hard to hold it up. Oh, you can also slide a block underneath that foot. Ooh, there it is. So whatever spot you find, whatever spot you choose, you want to make sure you prop yourself up so that your muscles can stop working. They can just relax and take it easy while we just focus on the fascia, the tendons, the attachments. One more inhale. One more exhale. Good. We're going to lift and adjust. Same thing. We're going to keep that medial point right now in the middle of our pelvis, and we're going to slide and take the other block right around towards the attachment on the outer rotators of our hips. So now I am going to really invite you to let your knee fall open. Ooh, you may want to support your head, neck, and shoulders. You may want to support this leg with a pillow, a block, a bolster. Ooh, this one's you're going to feel this one. Just know that as long as you stay, as long as you keep breathing, your body will relax. Okay, if you don't feel anything, keep moving. Find and locate the sweet spot. You may notice after a minute or so, you need to move the sweet spot a little bit. Good. 2 more full cycles of breath here, in and out. Last one, in and out. I want you to notice if you've been able to relax. Do you feel a little release of tension, of tightness? If you feel like you need more, you can stay. You can keep searching and adjusting through that side of your body. Or if you're ready, let's go ahead and move to the other side. I'm going to stand up so you guys can see this a little differently. So now we're going to be starting with this one right here at the base of the sacrum and right here, just underneath the lip of the ilium to get started on the right side. Okay, then we'll go from here to here. Really feel that, and then you can even start to move it down the side. Okay, so starting with one of the balls right towards the edge of your sacrum and the other edge right underneath the meaty part of your ilium, shifting your weight into your right leg a little bit. Grab your blanket. You can grab your strap, your sweatshirt, whatever you want, just to really find enough support. Maybe put your foot on a block. Good, let's give me one more beautiful in-breath. Exhale, release it. Okay, slide, keep the ball, one ball right under the lip of the ilium there, right in the center meaty part, just underneath your pelvis, your pubic bone, not your pubic bone, your, ilium. I've just got to be specific. I don't know how else. That little lip right at the top of your butt cheeks. Good. And then slowly take the weight in towards your right leg. Play around with the angle of where you need to be to find just enough. I'm going to slide this bolster underneath. Let my knee fall open there. When you feel the intensity, when you feel your body really talking to you loudly and clearly, you need to breathe with just as much equal response. Breathe in. Breathe out. Just stay, adjust, move around as you need to. I've often had students say, like, why can't I just stick two balls right in the middle of my butt and just move around? Well, you could. But remember I talked about that sciatic nerve. So if the glute med is really tight and it's squeezing on that sciatic nerve and then we roll around, we can really irritate sometimes the sciatic nerve or other nerve endings that move through the glutes to the leg from the spinal cord. So it's better to really stick with the attachments rather than just kind of the meaty, fleshy part of your hips. One last breath in and out. Slowly release, unwind, slide the balls out from underneath. Plant your feet. Let's come back to the beautiful rebound pose. Notice your body here. Allow yourself to drop into stillness. If you'd like to pad your knees, you can always slide your block, your bolster, your blanket underneath your knees. We're going to stay here in silence together for one last minute. Just allowing our body the time and space that it needs to rewire, reset, reground. Together, slowly float your arms overhead. Begin to wiggle through your fingers and your toes. Move around through your wrists and ankle bones. Gently draw your knees into your chest. Roll onto one side. Take your time, making your way back to a comfortable seat. Eyes closed, hands at your heart. Draw your thumbs to your forehead center. Take in one last breath. Stealing into our mind the way this meal made us feel today. I bow to you. Namaste.